morning, everyone. I'm Andrea Boaretto, responsible for software and electrical design at HiRef. Today, I will present you HiRef solutions for air conditioning plant management. The two main solutions proposed by HiRef of plant management are HiPlant and HiNode. HiPlant is a solution used to make supervision and monitoring of the plant. With HiNode, we have in addition the control function. Inside the HiNode, there is a current controller, which permits you to implement a software to control the system. Both solutions have the possibility of remote interfacing using an Ethernet connections. I start now with the description of the HiPlant system. HiPlant consists in a remote touchscreen which gives you the possibility to see the information of all the units connected in the group. It is available with two sizes of the display, 7 inches and 15 inches, and can be connected a maximum of 16 units. From the main screen, there is the possibility to see status of the units in terms of on, off or standby, and there is dedicated icons to indicate connection problem or other alarms. It's also possible to execute the most common actions like on-off of the units, change of the set point, and reset the alarms. In the HiPlant, we implemented a function to give to the final user the possibility to load, using an external USB key, an image of the physical layout with the position of the units in the plant. Finally, it's possible to connect to the HiPlant using an Ethernet connection for remote control of the unit. This can be done installing a software tool in the computer which permits to emulate the same visualization that you can see in the local display. Here you can see the main screen of HiPlant with the overview of the connected units. Using different colors indicate different status of the units. For each unit you can read the inlet-outlet temperatures and humidity values. With the plus button, you can enter in the screen menu with all the details of the unit. The graphics is the same that you can find in the touchscreen of the unit. Okay, let's move in the HiNode system and we can see the architecture of the system and how it integrates with the plant. HiNode is the system that HiRef has designed and developed for the control and management of an air conditioning system. It can be interfaced with all the units and devices present in the system, with the main objective of optimizing the operation. It implements operating logics in order to satisfy the customer needs, guaranteeing the performance defined in the analysis and design phases. It is a system that allows a complete monitoring of the system and to ensure continuity of service to the user. The HiNode name comes from the concept of connection between devices. Connection via Modbus to HiRef product permit to have the collection of all the information available in the units, like sensor or other devices. We can connect instruments for the measurement of electrical and thermal energy. We can also connect other brand units which can, for example, remain in the plant as a backup resources. In this case, the connection is made using analog and digital signals for remote on-off, set point changes and alarm contacts. For the temperature control, we can manage temperature and humidity sensor installed in the tanks, in the pipes, or directly in the environment. We can manage the distribution system, such as pumping modules or zone valves. Finally, we have the possibility to interface the HiNode as the only point to the BMS system, reducing the implementation costs. But it is not excluded the possibility for BMS to connect directly on the machine if redundancy is necessary. Okay, now we see how appear the user interface of HiNode. With a display like this, we can see the complete synoptic of the plant, even in the case of a complex system. We can see from a single screen all the main elements, so you can have everything under control immediately. And in this way, the interpretation of the plant diagram is simple and easy to understand, even for people who don't know the technical details. Then, clicking on the indicated parts, you can enter in other pages with all the details of the individual devices. For each machine, you can see the real-time working values and also operate with the main parameters. In this slide, there is an example of a cost control machine installed in a data center application. We can see all of the details, for example, water and outlet temperatures, air inlet and outlet temperatures, delta P between the environment and under the floor, the fan speed and the position of the modulating valve, and the active set point. Then we have the possibility to see the details of the alarms, the possibility to reset and also to change the working set point. In this slide, you can see another example of a special implementation with the representation of the psychrometric diagram. This diagram helps in understanding whether the conditions of the monitored environments are inside or outside the region defined by the thermodynamic project. And also check the old values selecting the date of the calendar. One of the most important features in HiNode is the possibility to implement the functioning logics. And now we go more in depth on this argument. To develop the software, we use the same tool we use to develop the software of the machines. We have developed a series of standard algorithms or libraries, and that we are going to improve as we implement new plans. Using the experience we made in similar installation, we implemented also custom functionalities to give the opportunity to the designers to solve different cases of different plants. I wanted to underline that it's very strategic to be able to define all of the details together with the project management and the designer of the plant, and also with the final customer, already during the offer phase. This is important to make sure we understand correctly the specification and what is expected from our side. Let's see now the areas on which we can apply this type of system. Here you can see an example of 3 multifunction units. In case the integrated LAN management in the machine control is not enough to manage the specific plant logics, and especially where there are common devices like pumps, valves and tanks, we can implement some specific logic to control the temperature on common points, such as in the tank or in the collector. This can be done also to manage the load balancing to optimize the efficiency and to use as much as possible the heat recovery. Other important logic function can be the rotation of the pumps to manage the backup and the rotation and the calibrating of the working hours. The control of the valves can be done on the user side and also on dissipation side. Now we move to a data center example where a context of high technological content and economic value increasingly requires very detailed monitoring of the temperature of all individual racks. This allows IT manager to have the situation under control and to immediately detect any overload problems. To satisfy this request, we propose the installation of additional modules for connected temperature probes. In this case, there is the possibility to identify the hotspot and modify the working mode to solve them. In the data room is very important the centralized management of the fans, in particular to optimize the efficiency. HiNode has also the possibility to calculate dynamically the most convenient set point, and this set point is then sent to the chillers. On this system can be integrated units in different steps to grant the scalability of the system. As final part, we look at the reporting and remote connection possibilities. With HiNode, we have a complete alarm management with the ability to see every single alarm when it happened and when it came back or reset. We also have the possibility to send alarm signal through physical contacts via bus to the BMS system or via email to those who have in charge the maintenance of the plant. This is important in order to be able to make a quick diagnosis, understand the gravity of the problems, and be able to send the appropriate technicians on site and already with the necessary materials. The system can be connected to Ethernet network, both the touch screen part and the controller. We have the possibility to interact with the system within a local network. Locally from the HiNode, it's also possible to export data using a computer or a USB key to implement advanced analysis of the working operation. The system can be reached also from remote, and this can be done using the customer connectivity or via a dedicated data SIM. On both cases, ensuring a high security level through a VPN connection. Using this remote connection, the service team can be faster to resolve any malfunctions and adjust the control parameters in the phases of commissioning the system. There is also the possibility to update the software from remote, and this can be useful for the management of new needs or for plant expansion. The HiNode can also act as a single point of connection to the BMS system, thus reducing the risk of unauthorized access. This system is compatible with the most popular communication protocol like Modbus, BACnet or SNMP. Now we are also compatible with the latest communication protocols such as MQTT for forwarding data to an external cloud system, and with Redfish, which is a standardized interface that allows to manage data center components in a unified, secure and scalable way. Many thanks for your time.